Hi everyone, Adrian here. Welcome to Wild Bush and Grit. This video is to help you find out why you're getting cold feet. And no, I'm not saying, the type of cold feet you get on your wedding day, but the type of cold feet that you get when you're outdoor doing awesome stuff. Nothing can ruin hunting trips as fast as cold feet can do it. So in this video, we will go over why we're getting cold feet in the first place and what type of boots will help you stay warm during those winter trips. I tried a lot of different type of boots and here are my findings. Also, don't focus specifically on the brands. I will list which brands and the model they are, but don't focus so much on the brand themselves, but focus on the construction of the boots and why they work or why they don't work. Whatever the boots that you're using, if you're cold, meaning if you're not dressed appropriately to the weather that you're venturing out, you will have cold feet. That's how your body reacts. Your body will constrict the blood vessel in your feet and your hands and prioritize your vital organs to stay warm and survive. So if you're not wearing a proper jacket, a heavy toque, scarves, whatever you need to stay warm in the temperature you're out, you will get cold feet. It doesn't matter the boots you're gonna get here, you will be cold if you are not dressed appropriately. So that's the first rule of not getting cold feet. Now, getting cold feet, I have multiple type of boots here. And I was evolving and trying to solve the issue. And the number one reason why we're getting cold feet when we're out there is humidity. And you need to control your humidity level in your boots in order to stay warm. You can wear, of course, wool socks. That's gonna help. As soon as your boot is getting humid, you're losing the insulation property of that boot. So here I have some Danners here, Gore-Tex. The interior is Primaloft. Great material, great boot overall. The problem with these boots here is, even though it's Gore-Tex, the main bulk of it is leather, and leather is not breathable. Even with the Gore-Tex, like you can see that actually, the way this boot is designed, even if there's a Gore-Tex liner here, the surface for humidity to escape is very, very limited. And the leather not being breathable, actually that boot says it's waterproof, but it's not. I've been to water up to this, and yes, I could feel the water seeping through. I don't know if it's the sewing point or whatever, but that boot did not perform as advertised. And let's say once that boot is getting humid and then it's being exposed to the element outside, the leather takes a long time to dry. After a long day of hunting, when these boots get soaked, I can put these boots near a heat source to help them dry. But the next day, because of the leather, because it's a very tough material to dry out, and they're still going to be humid for your next following day. So, not my favorite for winter, obviously, but I will wear them end of summer, beginning of autumn at best. For winter, I wanted something a little bit heavier, and this is where these two boots come into effect. Those are LL Beans. The problem with these is they cracked very, very easily, and the material used on these boots, even though they have a very healthy dose of liner for insulation, the main problem here, actually there's two problems. The first problem is they're fully waterproof, which normally should be great, but it's not, because remember, as soon as your feet get humid from the inside, it will stay humid and you're losing insulation property of the boot. And the second thing is those are heavy rubber, and the rubber exposed to the element is actually getting cold and is transferring cold to your feet. And this multiply as soon as your feet gets humid. So again, not my favorite. I like the design. They're actually, those ones are quite durable, but I will wear them if the temperature could be fluctuating between freezing temperature and below freezing temperature, meaning that I need the waterproof capability. Then yes, I will wear this one. But if I know for sure 100% that for the entire trip I will be below freezing temperature, then this is where we need to upgrade to the next model. So to me, these are, yeah, so, but it's, at best autumn, But in the thick of winter, this is where we're going, okay? So let me get rid of this, make some space, and then we can talk about what we have here. So these two here are mukluks. So those are traditional mukluks. Those are a Steger made in the US. Very light. You have a liner inside of it, super, super warm, but they're not waterproof. And this is what you want, because you want the humidity from your feet to actually escape and dries out. If you go for the modern version of it, so those obviously are, you know, the priciest in these three boots. Those are the priciest one, because, you know, the folklore, the leather, and all this. Those were $100, and this is usually what the military is going for. I got those at the military surplus. I will wear this in wilderness, and I will wear this when I know I'm going to be going inside the car, outside the car, where I might have some, you know, salt on the boots, because this one is protected. It has a rubber sole, so the sole here is completely waterproof, but the top of the boot is not waterproof. Okay, so this is breathable, and it has a super thick, let me pull this out, super thick liner, which is actually doubled, and an inner sole as well, to actually, you know, keep you off the cold ground. And when you're back at camp or whatever, you just pull out everything, hang them out to dry above your stove. This is all great, but I think the best of the best comes with these boots here. Those are Nats. And the great thing about these boots, virtually they weigh nothing. It surprises me. Even when I'm walking outside with wearing this boot, I keep throwing my feet front as if, you know, I was using as if I was walking with normal boots, because I'm still not used to these. But the weight that those boots are is just insane. And the reason for that is the material that they use for the main body. The material they use for this is an EVA type of, I don't know if it's a rubber or plastic, I'll add the details. But this material has high insulation, and like here, if I put my hands on this, the temperature of the boots compared to the actual rubber here, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. This doesn't get cold. I can put it outside, it will not get cold. This gets cold instantly and sends cold straight away through your liner to your feet. But this doesn't. That entire sole, the thickness, all this is isolated. And here on top you have breathable material. It has a felt liner, which is Primaloft, which is like insane. Like Primaloft is a great material for isolation. And let me give you a comparison on the weight. Oh yeah, whenever you choose a boots, one thing you need to make sure is you have lots of empty spaces inside of the boot, because you will be adding layers to your feet. You know, you have probably more than one pair of socks, like 2 pairs of socks sometimes. So you need to make sure that you have lots of room for your toes to wiggle, and because a boot that is fully dense, packed, will not be warm. Okay, it will get cold quicker than a boot that has air flowing all around. So this rubber boots here is 1,434 grams. Okay, this one. And this one here is less than 600. It's 594 grams. It's like 1 kg lighter than this boot. This is insane. And this one is 1.2 and 60 gram, 1 kilo and 259 gram. This one is 810 grams, also really light, but not as light as the Nats. $929. And it may not seem a lot, you know, in terms of version, but it is a lot because, like, you know, when you're spending the entire day hiking outside, this is where, you know, shaving weights here and here, this is where you really wins and, you know, not get completely tired out at the end of your day. Now, the last joker up my sleeve, you know, if even after wearing all this and, you know, you have the proper liner, you're making sure everything is dry at the end of every trip, I have one last joker up my sleeve, and where it is, I misplaced it. So, the last joker up my sleeve. So even if after all this, you're still getting cold feet, your feet are sweating faster than how much your boots can actually dry up at the same time. So here's the last tip for the day. Vapor socks. Okay, what are those? Vapor socks will trap the moisture around your feet so your boots stay dry and maintain its isolation property. Okay, and usually the way I'll wear it is I'm gonna use a very thin socks, but it's a mix of polyester, polyamide, and elastane. So I will wear this as a first layer. Then I will use the vapor sock like this. Then I'm going to use my wool socks. And I will put like this. Okay? It will do exactly what it says it's doing. It will trap the moisture in these vapor socks. Yes, you're gonna get your feet a little bit humid, but one thing though is about the feet is they will stop sweating as soon as it reaches a certain level of humidity. Your feet keep sweating until they maintain, you know, to the level of humidity they need, and then they just stop, right? The problem with a boot is the boot is constantly leaking out the sweat, the water, and your feet are keep producing sweat as it goes. So the cheap way to go around the vapor sock, if you don't have vapor socks, is actually use garbage plastic bag. You know, white plastic bag from your garbage for the kitchen. That's what I used when I was, before I had the vapor sock. This is what I would be using when I was going on ptarmigan hunt, for example. You know, when it's like minus 40 and you have to be outside the entire day. I will do the same thing. I would put a thin layer, the plastic, on top of the plastic, my sock, on top of it, and then in the boot. And this, yes, you will stay warm, guaranteed. I mean, if you're still getting cold feet, you might check your pulse, you might be clinically dead. But that's it, folks. That's everything I know about how to get your feet warm for your next winter trip. See ya, folks. Bye-bye.